Hey, this is Jamie coming to you live from my basement on another Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're having a great week. I want to take a moment to review where we were at last Sunday in our 6th of our 8 great Psalms. I tell you, it's hard for me to believe that we're already 6 down. We've covered all kinds of great Psalms. We've had Psalm 23 and Psalm 42, and we've had Psalm 8. Really great Psalms that we've had. Now we got to Psalm 51 this past week. Now when I think about Psalm 51, of course, David's confession, taking his heart and pouring it out before God. One of the things I pointed out in the sermon, hopefully that you caught, was that David was a thief. And he was a thief because he stole. And what he stole was another man's wife, and he stole another man's life. In what way, as you think about maybe the great sins in your life, could it boil down to thievery? Taking something that didn't belong to you. In some way, isn't a lot of sin boiled down to that? Whether it's taking someone else's joy away with our hateful speech, or taking away someone else's possessions with our greed and lust. I also tried to communicate that David wrestled with how best to confess his sin, how to write it out. We talked about those major verbs, purge and cleanse and hide and don't cast off and restore. Those are there in the middle part of the psalm, these verbs that I believe David hung the whole thing on. When you think about how you craft your confession, when do you do this? Do you do it only at church? Do you do it real quick, like, God forgive me for all my sins? Now think about it for a moment. If you were God, how would you receive that kind of confession? God forgive me for all my sins. It sounds kind of half-hearted. I think that for confession to be genuine and true, it has to be thought out, and it has to be wrestled with, and it has to be, I don't know, maybe a little emotive. When you confess, how do you do that? Now, one more thing, real quick life. Sometimes in the Christian life, we perceive confession to be only about when we get saved. I confess my sins. I confess that Jesus is Lord. But what I'm talking about here is the kind of confession that goes beyond the initial salvation moment into our ongoing disciple process. And I put before you that I think this should be an everyday thing, maybe even multiple times a day, to be honest. What do you think about that? Do you practice it? Try it this week. Try it for the rest of this week, this idea of confessing every day and asking God to show you the things that you know are wrong. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We're talking about the longest book in the Bible, Psalm 119. See you then. Bye.